Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I am Darian and today I'm going to be sharing with you some tips and things that I've learned over the course of having my own business and also on this journey of continuing to start businesses and venture out in this space. So I've learned a lot, and even today I still am learning a lot, and I want to go ahead and share those things with you. So if you're interested in having your own business, or maybe you have your own business but you feel like you hit a wall, or maybe just don't have that inspiration or motivation to keep going, hopefully this video gives you that. So let's start out with the fact that I think a lot of people have this glamorized view of starting a business. I think a lot of people think, oh, it might be cool to have this business, or it might be cool to go into this business. And I think they don't really have a reality of what it is like to genuinely put in the work and build a business from the ground up. And I think that is so important to know that everybody doesn't just start out at this big success level in business. A lot of the times you may see that online, or you may see people posting about their business success, but they maybe didn't tell you how long it took them to get to that route. They maybe didn't tell you how many years and how much money they put up front before they finally took off and caught their big break. So I don't want anybody who is thinking about going into a business to go in with the false reality and find themselves disappointed. It's been made to seem like this, you just wake up, start a business, and tomorrow you're a millionaire. And I'm not saying that that hasn't happened for some people, but for a lot of people, that is not reality. That is not life. So now that I have said that, I'm going to go ahead and hop into the things that I want to mention to you today. Okay, the first thing I want to mention is move in silence. Now, hear me out. I know it may sound counterproductive because when you start a business, of course, you want people to know about your business and you want to attract as many customers and clients as you can. I think for most people, that is their goal in their business, because usually when you have more clients and customers, that is helping you to have revenue come in your business. Now, when I say move in silence, I'm not saying that you can't at all speak about your business, but I will say that it is wise to be mindful of who around you knows about your business. So everybody usually is not going to be rooting for you when you are starting out in business. It may seem like that at first. Our people may be curious and want to know stuff and see what's going on, but I have found that when I've started, even if it wasn't like a direct business, when I've started different projects, the support seemed like it was there at first, and then I started to notice people faded off. It wasn't genuine support, or to be honest, some people were just nosy and just wanted to see what I had going on. And in that, I've even had people in my life that I was trusting with something so precious as my business, that knew certain things, or maybe knew the ins and outs, but turns out they ended up not being good for my life or even my business later down the line. So you want to be mindful of who you are sharing information with, just in general in life, but especially for your business, because this is how you are making money. The truth is that everybody is not going to be happy for you. And some people have their own dreams and desires for a business, and maybe they're not brave enough like you may be to jump out and start their business, but maybe they want to do their own business. I say this a lot because I feel like this is really important to have in your mind, just for personal life, but I also feel that this is important to have in your mind for business life, that who you have around you can either make you or break you. I recently just saw something on a podcast, and someone was explaining how they hired someone for their business, and that person took all their money and basically just ran off. And it wasn't just a little amount of money that this person said they made in their business. What they said was an extreme amount of money, multiple millions. So the last thing you want to do is put something that you have worked so hard into the hands of the wrong people. And the last thing you want to do is to be talking to people who don't have the best interests, whether it's for you or for your business. And if they don't have the best interest for your business, I don't believe that they have the best interest for you. So I recommend moving in silence when you're going to look for places to operate your business out of, when you're going to buy supplies, when you are going to search who you want to work with for your business and all these different things. I believe that moving in silence is such a good thing to do because you're not giving people the play for what you're about to do. You're not letting people know your every move. And I believe that if you're letting everybody know your every move, you are allowing yourself to be open because you don't know what somebody may have planned or in their heart against you. There are people who will literally sit there and listen to your ideas, your dreams, your goals, and the next day they will be working on doing the same thing you just told them, how they can do it for themselves and make money for themselves. So be wise with what you're sharing, and I truly believe that moving in silence is best. Now, of course, there are times where we need to seek counsel and seek other people, but just make sure that you are seeking people that are genuine and truly want to see you succeed. And also make sure that you are seeking people who know what they're talking about. It doesn't make sense to go talk to a family member who's never had a business, never started a business, about how to run your business. Look for mentors and people that have some background in the industry, and make sure their hearts are right too, because even some people who have made it to a certain place may not be necessarily fully open to helping somebody to start. And that is something that I've experienced in my life, where I wanted to seek out a mentor for somebody in an area that I have been working in, and they didn't help me, but later down the line I got to see that it was because I already had what I needed to start what needed to be started. And if I would have been under them, that could have easily been a way for them to say that they made me, that they brought me up. Okay, so that moves me into the next thing I want to mention, and that is to be careful with who you go into business with. I believe that if you're going to go into business with someone, it needs to be like a purpose thing, or you need to know for sure that this is the person that you need to go into business with. I personally do not believe that it's a good thing to go into business with family, unless maybe it's like a family business or with friends, because relationships can change so quickly. And when you are in business with someone so close, I feel like a lot of the times you have your personal life involved, and things can just go either way. I remember when I first started my business, I was just so excited. And so I was like working in a place with somebody that was pretty close to me. And I started to notice as I was working alongside the person, there were a lot of things that made me uncomfortable. I felt like I was sharing things that I was planning on doing. I literally remember this time where I was telling the person what I was going to do for my business. Like, I'm about to do a special and this and that. And I got on social media. Literally what I had said, the person had done it on their page. So you have to be very careful with who you go into business with. If you know that you were not getting along with a person before starting a business, more than likely going into business with that person is not going to make it any better. I personally would say that look at a person's character in real life before you jump into business with them, because more than likely their business is going to be ran based off of how they run their personal lives also. Okay, so let's move on to the next thing. I feel like this is really important because I feel like a lot of the times we forget that we are on our own journey. So don't feel the need to compare yourself or compete regarding your business, because your business is your business. So even as just people, we're called to certain people. There are going to be certain people that are attracted to your business and certain people that are attracted to other people's business. Whatever it is that your business is, I would recommend focusing your energy on how you can be the best in your business versus focusing your energy on how you can beat the competitor. Because spending all that time focusing on how you can beat the competitor, you can be spending that time working on your creativity, working on marketing, working on how are you reaching people and connecting with people. So just make sure that you're spending your energy on things that are going to help you thrive. At the end of the day, we're going to go to a business because we want to go to a business. Whether it's because I like the person, I like the product, I like the service, I like the quality. We choose things based off of whatever reason we have on the inside. So don't make it your mission to focus on competition, but put your energy on how you can do your very best in your business and give the best quality and product or service or whatever it is to your clients or customer that you are trying to attract. Okay, so the next tip that I have is to make sure that you have your finances in check before jumping out to start a business. I'm not saying that you have to be a millionaire or have all these hundreds of thousands of dollars, but just make sure that you have enough saved up to where if you have some expenses to pay, like your business license, I feel that it's wise to at least have a few months of rent saved up just in case you don't start out getting a lot of clients, just in case you have to build your way up a little bit. Make sure that you are choosing a place that you can afford and make sure you have money saved up. I feel that this was something that I had to learn because although I had this passion and drive and I just was ready to start business, I feel that if I would have saved up more, it would have gave me more room to feel a little more comfortable. When I first started my business, I didn't really factor in that I would have to buy as many supplies as I did, or even how much those supplies would cost. So count the cost of starting this business. I know that that might seem like an obvious thing, but you'll be surprised. A lot of people probably don't actually sit down and count the cost, especially if you're somebody who may be more I would just like jump out there and take a risk. You may not necessarily take that time to sit down and count the cost. But as I continue on in business, that was when I started to see like, oh, okay, this is how much this is going to cost. And thank God that as I continue on and started to make money in business, I was able to buy more supplies and continue on. But I did not sit down and count the cost. And I feel like that would have been beneficial for me. So if you can, and if you feel that is good for you, I would recommend just sitting down and seeing how much money will it actually cost for you to rent out a place for a year. How much money would it cost for you to get all your supplies and have the things that you would need to start your business? Let's say you have a shake shop or a smoothie shop. How many smoothies will you have to sell a month so that you're able to cover your rent and whatever fees you may have during the month? And no matter how happy and excited you may be about having a certain place. So I'll use myself as an example. I vividly remember when I first was about to jump out and start my business, I was so excited to have this beautiful and luxurious place that I could work out of. And I was about to go home and sign up for this rent for this place for a year. And that night, like the nights after, because I had to let the people know by a certain time, I just didn't have peace. Like I could not sleep type of peace about it. And I was excited, but it wasn't even like I'm so excited that I couldn't sleep. It was like I felt literally in my stomach knots, like this is not a good idea. And it wasn't until after I turned it down I got to see that if I would have went and signed my name on this paper and went in and started my business in this place, I would have been thousands of dollars in debt. So use wisdom in your business ventures. Shortly after that, I was able to find a place that I was able to afford and continue to run my business in that was comfortable for me. And I didn't have the extra stress of I'm going to have to keep having this many clients in order to pay the rent every month. Yes, there are resources and options that you can take for businesses, like taking out a loan to start your business, but just make sure that you're making wise decisions regarding your business. Don't feel like you have to go put yourself in all this debt to start a business, especially if your business is based off of like building a clientele or things like that. Don't be afraid to scale down if you need to for the sake of building up the finances through having clients come in and getting your clients so that you can move up and upgrade over time to those better places or those better spaces that you're trying to be in. And since we're talking about finances, let's go ahead and move into that next point. And that is, it's not wise to spend all that you're making in your business. You want to make sure that once you start making revenue in your business, that you are saving some money, because you never know what expenses may come. Like, I know for me and the business that I have to renew certain documentation yearly. So you want to make sure that you at least have the funds for that. If you have a website, which most people who have a business do usually have a website, or you have a booking site where you have to continue to renew, make sure that you at least have that saved for the year, so that as that next year rolls in, if you're going to continue on in business, you can at least have those things covered. You never know what other expenses may come up, what new supplies you may need to get. For instance, you never know when you'll need a new camera. I'm sitting here filming myself, so you never know when it'll be time to upgrade. Maybe it's time to start working somewhere else. You never know what other items you may need to bring into that space. So keep that in mind. I know sometimes when we start making money, we may be like, oh, things are happening. Let me just go ahead and ball out. And I'm not here to tell you what you can and cannot buy, but I want to just encourage you to use wisdom and not get caught up in the hype of spending everything to prove that you are making money in business. And don't be afraid to reinvest your money back into your business. Am I saying reinvest all of it? No. But for me, making money in my business, one of my favorite things to do is to take money and reinvest into items, better quality items, better quality equipment, better quality things. So I am a beauty girl. So when I'm taking like clients for makeup and stuff, I take that money and I go buy more beauty items. Or when I was at a place where I was doing skincare and facials, one of the things I love to do was to go buy some new skincare products. So now I can actually take those products and expand my services that I was offering. And then because I was able to expand by bringing in new services, that opened the door for me to have more money coming into my business. Okay, the next thing I want to talk about is authenticity. Stay authentic to who you are. Stay authentic to your brand. When you look at different brands, you'll see, even though they may be selling the same thing, for instance, maybe a beauty brand is selling lipsticks. They may be selling the same thing, but they have different packaging. They have different reasons why they started their beauty brands. They have different colors. Their social media may look different and be different. So remain authentic to what is to you. If your brand is focused on a younger audience, that is okay. But don't feel like you have to switch up now and do what another brand or company or people are doing because they're doing that and it's working for them. What may work for you in your business may not necessarily work for another person in their business, and vice versa. So find what works for you, find what feels authentic to you, and go with that. Those people who are attracted to what you are authentically putting out will be able to see that, oh, these are my people. This is my brand. This is what I want to support and be a part of. And those right people will come to you. But if you are trying to be what another company is trying to be, or if you're trying to be what another business owner is trying to do and how they're running their business, and it's not authentic to what you truly want to do, but you're just doing it because you feel that it's working for them, so it must work for me, you may miss out on attracting those people who are looking for your business, those people who are looking to come to you. So don't be afraid to be authentic to you and your business and your company. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to mention is to know what you are selling. And I stand by this. Know what you are selling to people. Even if your business is just strictly selling physical products. I love this example. So let's say that you are selling a beauty product. There are so many brands that sell, and I'm just saying beauty because that is something that I deal with and that I really love. But you can think about this with different brands. So let's say a beauty product is what you're selling. These different companies, yes, they're selling a beauty product, but there usually is a deeper reason for why people are coming to buy these products. So that beauty product may awaken a level of confidence in that buyer that they didn't have before having that beauty product. Maybe now they put on this lipstick and they just feel like they own the world. So essentially, that company is really selling confidence to somebody. And when you are impacting people through what you are selling, at the end of the day, so many companies sell so many of the same things, but there's a reason why people gravitate to certain companies over others, or there's a reason why certain people may buy a product and feel a certain way. That company more than likely has found a way to attract these people by impacting them and tapping into whatever it is that that buyer is looking for. And the buyer may not even be conscious of what they're looking for. So look at it that way. What are you selling? What are you selling outside of what you're selling? Yes, you may be selling a physical product, but overall, what is the deeper meaning behind what you're selling? Why are people really coming back to you? For me, when I was taking clients for skincare, I was giving them confidence. So essentially, they were purchasing a level of confidence to feel confident in their skin and how their skin was looking. Okay, so let's move into the next thing. So I found this very helpful for me to focus on impact versus focusing on just getting a bunch of money. I found that once I made my price and I focused on impacting my clients, that is what was part of why clients kept coming back to me. People can usually tell when a person or a company or a business is just focused on the money, because a lot of times there will be a lack of good customer service, or a lot of times there will be a lack of connection to the customer. And one thing I have learned about people is that people like connection. People need to know that what they are spending their money on is worth their while, even if your impact is just convenience for the customer. So there is a big corporation out here, and you can go on the app and buy what you want just like that. And for a lot of products, you can get them delivered within 2 days on that app. That corporation has impacted so many people just by simply offering convenience. People like things that they can connect to and what is going to make their life easier. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to mention, I feel like this is very subjective because everyone's prices can be so different. I feel like when it comes to certain industries and businesses, a lot of people like to keep the prices around the same range, which I feel like is really good because that helps to take out a lot of competition. So this is something I have learned throughout my process of having my business, and it is to stand firm on the prices that you set. Now, if you know that your price is just like outrageous and is way too much, or even if it's way too low, of course, change it as you feel the need to. But if you know that that this is the right price for your business, this is the right price that you want to set your product or service at, then be confident in that and stand firm in that. You can always run specials, you can always run deals, you can always just play around with different, amounts of money off to see what works best for you or what's bringing people in. But I have found that the price that I charge said a lot about what I had to offer. So I feel like sometimes when things are super cheap, people may assume that the product is not the best quality or is not as great. But also when things are more higher price, people may automatically assume that the product or service is luxury are greater, are better than the cheaper items. So keep that in mind when setting your prices, and also keep in mind that your price will attract a certain type of clientele. So if you feel like you're not attracting the clientele that you would like to have, it could be as simple as, what are your prices? What are you charging? What I have found is that when I stood firm in my prices, people still came. Yes, because my prices were not super low, I did have to wait a little bit for people to come in, but I found that the people that were coming in were the type of client that I was trying to attract. And I found that a lot of the people that did come to me continued to come to me because they saw that the quality was there. I also got to see that a lot of the people that came because I gave like a discount or I had like a super steep deal going on, a lot of those people didn't return because they were just looking for a cheap service or product. And that is okay. We all get to choose what we want to spend our money on. But these are things to keep in mind when you are running a business. I know for me personally, when I want something and I really want it, I will spend the money to get it. If I feel that it's worth the money, I will go out and buy what I want. So I believe that other people do this too. We like what we like and we want what we want. It's just a matter of us finding those spaces and businesses and companies that we like and what we like to support. So keep in mind that if you start out lower and just start out of nowhere raising your prices, that may cause your audience or your client to start raising their brows. Like, I didn't start coming here with these prices. So just keep that in mind as you make your price. People don't like change, especially when it comes to finances. Okay, so the next tip I want to leave is that I do not believe all money is good money. And the reason I say that is because having the wrong client can really hurt your business. Having the wrong client can really hurt your sales. I believe that the people that are loyal to you and know what you have to offer and are used to what you have to offer and sell, those people more than likely will keep coming back. But what you don't want to do is just be so eager for clients that you allow the wrong clients to come in. It's not their business at the end of the day. It's not their company at the end of the day. And like I said earlier, to be honest, everyone is not happy that you have a business. So you want to be mindful of the clients that you have. I absolutely do believe that your clients and your customers should be respected, but I do not always believe that the client is always right. So if you feel that you are being disrespected or that your business is threatened or whatever the case may be, you have a choice to make if you're going to tolerate that treatment for you or your business or not. I believe that respect should be on both sides. So if you have certain policies or certain things that you have in place, make sure that you are also standing on that too. Because one thing I have noticed and learned about life is that people will push buttons. People will try to get away with what they know or feel that they can get away with. So you have a business to protect. So do not be afraid to step into that role and protect your business, protect your company. Obviously, some companies sell products at a large scale and it may be a little bit of a difference when it comes to that in business, but you still want to reach the audience that's going to appreciate your product. You still want to reach the audience that's going to like what you have to offer. Okay, so the last tip that I have for this video is to not be afraid to reinvent yourself or your business. I know some people are the face of their business, and then some people, they just have their company or their business at the forefront. But do not be afraid to reinvent or to even start over. Business is one of those things where you never know how it can go. You may be making a lot one month, and the next month you don't know how much you'll end up making, or it may not be as much. So, which that also goes into something else. Make sure that you are being wise with finances, because you never know how business can go. But back to the point, don't be afraid to reinvent yourself and restart your business. You may have started in one season and what you were doing was working, but it's now time to upgrade and elevate. And you never know when your business will take off, or you never know if switching how your business looks, and just little things like upgrading your website, little things like upgrading your social media, how you post and what type of posts you're putting up. You never know how that could cause more people to be attracted to your business and what you have to offer in your pages and want to support. There is something that I've noticed, especially on social media and a lot of companies and businesses, as they have elevated, a lot of their social media looks a certain way, and not necessarily that it looks outside of what they authentically may be, but it has a certain level of professionalism. It has a certain aesthetic. And when I say aesthetic, I don't mean just jump on a random aesthetic and run with it. Do something that feels like the business and see how that goes. And if you feel like that does not work, then see if something else works. But I feel that it's so important to be willing to reinvest in your business and reinvest in certain things, or as you start to elevate, upgrade certain things. I just feel like it's a part of life to reinvent yourself and your business. Think about the brands that were popular 20 years ago. Yes, they may be selling the same thing, but some of these brands have upgraded their packaging. They have made things look better so that it's more attractive to what people are buying in today's time. So I'm not saying you have to completely change who you are and what your business is and what it has to offer. But don't be afraid to make changes so that you are also progressing with the times, because people progress with time. Times do change, and just because a business may have been popular at one time does not mean that business is going to continue to be the top business years later down the line. Be willing to do the research and see what people like in whatever business avenue that you are in. What is attracting customers and clients and consumers? What is it that is causing people to buy in this brand and this brand? And not from a negative place or a nasty place, but just genuinely from a place of trying to learn and understand why people gravitate to these different businesses and what is this business offering to the client. Okay, you guys, so that is all of the things that I wanted to share. I am not saying that if you do all of these things that it is going to lead to business success. And I'm not saying that you have to do all of these things to have business success. I am just sharing some of the things that I have learned from my own personal journey, walking out my business and continuing to walk out business. So I hope that this helped you and inspired you, and even maybe gave you some insights for your own business. Be sure to check out any other videos that interest you, and I hope you have a great day. Bye.